Today we're revisiting a trade from the 2016 offseason that was huge at the time, and I think both teams kind of got what they wanted in this trade. Despite being a pretty small tree, we've got a lot of excitement here. We've got a World Series, we've got All-Stars, we've got Cy Young finalists. There's a lot going on here. And one of the teams made a couple moves last year that look to extend this tree for several more years. This is the Adam Eaton trade tree. Adam Eaton, for those who don't remember, was a really good Chicago White Sox. From 2014 to 2016, he led the AL in triples twice, he put up a 119 OPS plus and 16 WAR, and in 2016 he received an MVP vote. But despite his success and having very talented players in their primes, those White Sox couldn't figure it out and they finished under 500 and fourth in the AL Central every year. Deciding to enter a rebuild, they shipped ace Chris Sale to Boston. Eaton was also attractive as a trade chip, being a great leadoff bat and solid outfielder under a very affordable long-term contract, and he was just 28 years old. On the other side, the Washington Nationals were coming off a great season, winning the NL East with a 95-67 record, but they had some holes in their roster, particularly in center field, as they were moving youngster Trey Turner back to his natural shortstop position. They decided to swing for the fences, and they made a deal for Eaton at the winter meetings. So here's the trade. The Nationals got Adam Eaton, and the White Sox got three pitching prospects, Dane Dunning, Lucas Giolito, and Ronaldo Lopez. So how did the Nats and Eaton do? Well, on opening day in 2017, he batted second and started in center field. He hit a double, walked twice, stole a base, and scored. And he continued to play well the rest of the month until he was injured running out a grounder. He tore his ACL and meniscus, and he missed the rest of the season. Eaton returned healthy in 2018, and he started extremely hot, winning NL Player of the Week for the first week of the season. He then went out with an ankle injury that kept him out until June. When he returned, he shifted over to right field, and he was great. He slashed .301, .394, .411 for a 114 OPS plus in 95 games. He carried that success into his first fully healthy season in DC in 2019. In 151 games, he put up a career high with 15 homers. He broke double digits in stolen bases for the first time since joining the Nats, and he put up a 105 OPS plus. In the postseason, Eaton started in right field and batted second in every game. He slashed .246, .361, .410, and in the decisive Game 7, he stole a base and scored in the 8th inning, helping to put away the Astros and seal the Nationals' first ever championship. The Nationals picked up Eaton's team option for 2020, but he fell off hard in the COVID-shortened season, putting up a career-worst 79 OPS plus in 41 games. Following the season, they decided not to pick up Eaton's option for 2021, and he became a free agent. In his 4 seasons with Washington, Eaton played in just 310 games, but he put up a 105 OPS plus and 2.6 WAR. Now, how did the players of the White Sox get back to? Well, Dane Dunning was the youngest of the 3 prospects, having just been drafted that summer. He reached the majors in August of 2020, and he made 7 starts the rest of the year. He pitched to a 2-0 record, a 1.13 ERA plus, and .1 WAR in 34 innings. After the season, Dunning was traded, with pitching prospect Avery Weems, to the Rangers for pitcher Lance Lynn. Lynn had a really strong start to the 2021 season, pitching to a 9-3 record and a sub-2 ERA in his first 16 starts, and being named to the All-Star game. He signed a 2-year, $38 million contract extension in July. He started the first Field of Dreams game in August against the Yankees, and while he wasn't great in that game, the White Sox won in exciting fashion, as Tim Anderson walked off Zach Britton with a 2-run shot in the bottom of the 9th. He finished the year with an 11-6 record, a career-best 1.63 ERA plus, and a lot of Cy Young votes, enough to finish third behind Robbie Ray and Garrett Cole. Lynn started Game 1 of the ALDS against the Astros, and he struggled. He didn't make it out of the 4th inning, and he gave up 5 runs, taking the eventual loss. Houston ended up winning the series in 4 games. Lynn opened 2022 injured after tearing his meniscus in spring training, and debuted in June. He wasn't nearly the same as the previous year, particularly for the first 2 months. Through his first 7 starts, he had a 1-3 record and a 7.5 ERA, but from that point on, he got things back under control, which to me indicates he probably wasn't entirely healthy when he returned. He finished the year with solid but unimpressive numbers, an 8-7 record and a 99 ERA plus in 121 2/3 innings. After an awful start to the 2023 season by both Lynn and the White Sox, they decided to move him at the deadline. Across 70 starts for Chicago, Lynn posted a 25-22 record, a 101 ERA plus, and 5.1 WAR. Lynn was packaged with reliever Joe Kelly and traded to the Dodgers for outfielder Trace Thompson and pitching prospects Nick Nastrini, a starter, and Jordan Leisure, a reliever. Thompson returned for his 3rd stint on the White Sox, and he was pretty bad for them. In 36 games, he slashed .171, .261, .232 for a 37 OPS plus and -0.4 WAR, and he left after the season in free agency. Nick Nastrini made it up to AAA by the end of last season. He's a top 10 prospect in the White Sox system, and he's shown promise in spring training this year. He's 24, and with Dylan Cease getting traded, he's fully in the mix to make the rotation out of camp. Jordan Leger also reached AAA and is a top 20 prospect for the White Sox. He's also turning heads at spring training, and some are pushing for the 25-year-old to break camp as Chicago's closer. At a minimum, he's expected to play a significant role in their bullpen for 2024. Giolito had debuted for Washington at the end of 2016, but he spent most of 2017 in the minors. He was called up to the White Sox in August, and in 7 starts he impressed. He put up a whip under 1 and a 181 ERA+. In 2018, Giolito made the rotation out of camp, and he struggled in his first full season. Across 32 starts, he walked 90 batters, most in the AL. He put up an ERA over 6, and he gave up an MLB worst 118 runs, and he only struck out 6.5 batters per 9. But in 2019, he took a huge step forward. He struck out 100 more batters in a similar amount of innings. He walked only 57 batters, and he put up a 1.34 ERA+. He led the majors with 3 complete games, and his newfound success was recognized. He made the All-Star game, and he finished 6th in Cy Young voting. Giolito was just as good in the COVID-shortened 2020. In 12 starts, he put up a 1.28 ERA+, and he further lowered his whip and FIP. In August, he no-hit the Pirates on just 101 pitches, striking out 13 batters. And it would have been a perfect game if not for a single walk in the 4th inning. It was the first White Sox no-hitter in 8 years, and their first at home in 11. Giolito finished 7th in Cy Young voting, and Chicago made the expanded playoffs. He started Game 1 against the A's, and he threw an absolute gem. He carried a perfect game into the 7th, he struck out 8, and he earned the win. But the White Sox wound up losing the series. Giolito kept up the success through 2021. In 31 starts, he put up an 11-9 record and a 1.24 ERA+. He broke 200 strikeouts again, and he finished 11th in Cy Young voting. Unfortunately, much like his team, Giolito struggled in 2022. In 30 starts, he put up an 81 ERA+, and his whip jumped to 1.4. But in 2023, his last year before free agency, Giolito rebounded. He shifted away from his changeup and toward his slider as a secondary pitch, and he put up a 1.18 ERA+ in 21 starts. At the deadline, when the White Sox decided to sell, they moved Giolito. Across parts of 7 seasons in Chicago, Giolito made 162 starts. He put up a 59-52 record, a 1.03 ERA+, and 14.1 WAR. Now, we won't get right to where Giolito was traded or what the White Sox got back, because he was traded alongside the third player from the initial Adam Eaton trade, Ronaldo Lopez. Lopez, much like Giolito, had debuted for the Nationals in 2016, but he spent most of 2017 in the minors. He was called up in August, and he made 8 starts the rest of the year, putting up a 3-3 record and a 92 ERA+. He made the rotation out of camp in 2018, and he had an okay rookie year. He made 32 starts, which is a full workload, and he put up a 7-10 record and a 1.08 ERA+. Unfortunately, Lopez was pretty bad in 2019. Despite eating innings again, making 33 starts, and throwing his first complete game, he gave up 35 homers and an MLB worst 110 earned runs. And he was even worse in the COVID-shortened 2020, putting up a FIP over 7.5 and finishing below replacement across 8 starts. Lopez spent the first half of 2021 in the minors, and he was called up in July. He split the rest of the season between the rotation and the bullpen. Across 9 starts and 11 relief appearances, he was much improved, putting up a whip under 1 and a 1.28 ERA+. In 2022, Lopez came in as a full-time reliever, and he had a great season. In 61 appearances, he pitched to a FIP under 2 and a whip under 1. And while he gave up hits and runs at a worse rate to start 2023, he compensated for that by striking out a career-best 11 batters per 9. At the trade deadline, with his free agency approaching, he was paired with Giolito and traded. Across parts of 7 seasons in Chicago, Lopez had a 33-44 record, a 99 ERA+, and 6 WAR. Giolito and Lopez were traded to the Angels for catching prospect Edgar Caro and pitching prospect Kai Busch. Caro is one of the White Sox top 5 prospects, and he finished out last year at Double-A. He looked very good, and he continued to impress in Major League Spring Training this year. At just 20 years old, Chicago's not going to rush Caro to the majors, but he could be their full-time starter behind the dish as early as 2025. Kai Busch's stock as a prospect has taken a dip recently, but he's still top 20 in the Sox system. He dealt with injuries last season and didn't perform well in Double-A with either the Angels or the White Sox affiliates, but he did look good at Double-A back in 2022, and he profiles very well. He's a 6'6 southpaw, and he's a few different effective pitches. If he can rebound, I wouldn't be surprised if Busch makes his MLB debut for Chicago in 2024. So in total, we're looking at nearly 25 WAR over the last 7 years for the White Sox, and they have 4 future pieces ready to contribute even further in the next few years. So the White Sox win this trade for me, but even though the WAR gap is massive, I don't think the Nationals really regret this one. They were a team looking for their first World Series, and they got a player who helped them win one. Washington's been bad since that championship, and I'm sure Nats fans have watched Giolito and Lopez at different points in the last 7 years and wish they still had them on their roster. But again, they got a World Series win. Ask fans of the Mariners or the Padres or the Brewers if they would trade all their top prospects for a World Series win, and they do it. They want the title. The Texas Rangers just shipped out a whole bunch of prospects, and they got their first title, so they don't regret those trades, even if they come back to bite them in the future. Anyway, like and subscribe if you made it this far. Let me know down in the comments who you think won this trade, any other trades you want to see me cover, and I'll see y'all next time.